Welcome back, coin enthusiasts. Today we are diving into one of the most astonishing stories in the world of rare coins, the legendary 1980 quarter dollar, a coin that has sent shockwaves through the numismatic community because of its jaw-dropping value, estimated at an incredible $98 million. This coin is not just another quarter. It represents a perfect storm of minting errors, historical anomalies, and collector demand that is combined to make it one of the most coveted coins in the modern era. The 1980 quarter, struck at the Denver Mint, has become the stuff of legend due to several fascinating mistakes that occurred during its production. First, collectors have identified an unusually severe die clash on some of these coins, a phenomenon where the obverse and reverse dies strike each other without a planchet in between, leaving ghostly images and doubling that can dramatically increase a coin's rarity and value. On the 1980D, the clash has created partially doubled features on Washington's profile, notably the hair and facial details, and faint markings of the eagle on the reverse, which are considered highly unusual and extremely scarce in circulation coins of this era. Additionally, there have been reports of significant off-center strikes on surviving specimens, with some coins having the minting die missing large portions of the design, leading to dramatic blank areas and eccentric appearances that attract the attention of serious collectors who know that off-center strikes above 25% deviation are exponentially more valuable. Another critical error contributing to the 1980 quarter's astronomical valuation is the existence of die cracks and cuds, small raised lines, and lumps where the die itself has fractured or deteriorated, producing unique irregularities that make each coin virtually one of a kind. These die anomalies are highly prized because they cannot be reproduced, and coins with clear die cracks or cuds often become centerpiece items in elite collections. Beyond physical errors, some of these quarters exhibit what numismatists call broad strikes, where the coin is struck without adequate collar pressure, resulting in a slightly larger diameter and flattened design that can only be reliably identified by expert measurement, adding another layer of rarity. The 1980 quarter is also notable for potential double die obverse instances, where the doubling is visible on the date and lettering, creating a striking visual that is immediately recognizable to trained eyes and significantly elevates the coin's market value. Experts believe that only a tiny fraction of all 1980 quarters minted display all of these combined characteristics: die clash, off-center strike, die cracks, cuds, broad strike, and double die obverse, which explains why even a single verified specimen can fetch sums that rival fine art masterpieces. The historical context adds another layer of intrigue. The late 1970s and early 1980s were a period of immense production at the Denver Mint, with millions of quarters being struck for general circulation, which makes the survival of coins with these specific errors incredibly rare because most would have been released into circulation, where ordinary wear would obscure or destroy these subtle anomalies. The rarity factor is compounded by the fact that many of these error coins were likely identified by mint inspectors and removed or melted down, leaving only a few in the hands of collectors and error enthusiasts. Auction records show that demand for such coins is fierce, with collectors willing to pay extraordinary sums to secure a specimen for their collection, particularly because the 1980 quarter represents a perfect convergence of multiple error types in a single coin, a phenomenon that is exceedingly uncommon in modern numismatics. Analysts also note the speculative component, where knowledge of the coin's potential scarcity and market excitement drives bids ever higher, sometimes resulting in multi-million-dollar price points that seem almost surreal. For coin investors and collectors, the 1980 quarter is more than just a collectible. It is an investment, a tangible piece of history with provable provenance and unmistakable error characteristics that make it a trophy for any collection. Beyond auctions, these coins have been the subject of intense study in numismatic publications, with detailed photographs, measurements, and expert commentary highlighting every subtle anomaly, which further fuels the market and educates new collectors about what to look for in high-value error coins. Some of the most notable 1980 quarters in private hands have undergone certification by major grading services, which authenticate the errors, grade the coins for condition, and provide a permanent record that supports their multi-million-dollar valuations. This process ensures buyer confidence and has helped elevate the coin to an iconic status where even partial or minor error coins are highly sought after for their rarity and historical significance. Furthermore, the cultural fascination with coins like the 1980 quarter contributes to their allure, as stories of misprints, die clashes, and off-center strikes capture the imagination of collectors and casual enthusiasts alike, adding an element of narrative and drama that purely circulated coins cannot offer. As more collectors seek out these elusive coins, the price trajectory continues to rise, making the 1980 quarter not only a marvel of numismatic errors, but also a benchmark for how modern minting mistakes can generate extraordinary financial and historical value. The combination of technical minting errors, limited surviving specimens, and passionate collector demand is what drives this coin to its staggering $98 million valuation, a figure that emphasizes both the rarity and desirability of such a unique collectible. In conclusion, the 1980 quarter is a masterpiece of minting anomalies, blending die clashes, off-center strikes, broad strikes, die cracks, cuds, and double die characteristics in a way that few coins before or since have ever achieved, creating an item that is simultaneously a scientific curiosity, a historical artifact, and a treasure of unimaginable value. Collectors and investors alike recognize that acquiring such a coin is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, as each surviving example represents a perfect alignment of chance, error, and market demand that few coins can ever replicate. The allure of the 1980 quarter lies not just in its face value or the metal it is made from, but in the stories it tells about the minting process, human oversight, and the way rare errors capture the imagination and wallets of collectors worldwide, cementing its place in history as one of the most valuable and fascinating coins ever produced in the United States. Its $98 million valuation is a testament to its uniqueness, rarity, and the relentless pursuit of perfection and anomalies by collectors, ensuring that this quarter dollar will be studied, admired, and sought after for generations to come, symbolizing the incredible potential for modern coins to become extraordinary treasures when the right combination of errors and scarcity align perfectly. Next, 1977 quarter dollar USA coin. And another fascinating journey into the world of rare and highly valuable coins on our channel. Today we are diving deep into one of the most astonishing and jaw-dropping discoveries in the history of U.S. coinage, the 1977 quarter dollar that has recently captured the attention of collectors worldwide due to its staggering valuation of $53 million. A number that may sound almost unbelievable for a coin minted in the late 20th century, but as we explore the story behind this remarkable piece, you'll understand why this quarter is not just any regular coin, but a masterpiece of errors, mistakes, and anomalies that have propelled it into the rarefied air of numismatic legends. The 1977 quarter is a Washington quarter, normally a very common and widely circulated coin, yet the version we are talking about is far from ordinary. Its value is anchored in a combination of minting errors that are so rare and peculiar that experts have described it as a once-in-a-lifetime find. One of the primary reasons this quarter commands such an astronomical price is the occurrence of a severe double die error on both the obverse and reverse, which means that during the minting process, the coin die that impresses the design onto the blank planchet was misaligned or struck twice in slightly different positions, causing the features of George Washington's profile to appear doubled, with the date, lettering, and even the hair detail showing clear evidence of doubling. This type of error is extremely rare because the U.S. Mint has stringent quality control measures, making surviving examples of such mistakes exceptionally scarce and highly sought after by collectors who specialize in error coins. Adding to the intrigue, this particular 1977 quarter also exhibits what is known as a broad strike anomaly, meaning that the coin was struck without the normal restraining collar that shapes the edge, resulting in a coin that is slightly larger in diameter with a smooth, expanded rim. The broad strike condition combined with the double die error makes this coin almost unique, as it features a combination of two major types of errors that are rarely found together in any circulation coin. The errors are not the only aspect contributing to its massive valuation. The coin's metallic composition, where patterns and overall appeal play significant roles. This quarter was struck in brilliant uncirculated condition, meaning that it shows no signs of handling or circulation, retaining its original luster and sharpness of detail. Such pristine preservation is incredibly rare for coins from the 1970s, most of which have seen years of pocket wear or handling. The preservation alone can multiply its market value exponentially when combined with its error characteristics. Collectors and auction houses have described the 1977 double die broad strike quarter as a coin that represents a perfect storm of numismatic rarity. It's not just the physical errors, but the historical context that enhances its allure. The late 1970s were a period of transition for the U.S. Mint, as it experimented with new production techniques and equipment upgrades. These experimental periods are often the source of minting anomalies, and coins from these years with clear, dramatic mistakes are instantly elevated to legendary status within the collecting community. Experts also point to the psychological effect on collectors. When such a coin enters the market, bidding wars can escalate rapidly because the coin is not just a currency artifact but a tangible piece of history that demonstrates the fallibility of a production process thought to be highly precise. The rarity of this specific combination of errors, double die and broad strike on a 1977 quarter, means that even seasoned collectors are willing to pay unprecedented sums for the opportunity to own it. The coin also sparks endless debates and studies among numismatists, as they analyze the precise angles of doubling, the depth of the die impressions, and the spread of the broad strike. These analyses not only serve to authenticate the coin, but also enhance its story and mystique, increasing its desirability and, consequently, its market value. In addition to the technical aspects, there's also a fascinating possibility of misattribution or undetected errors in the past, which adds a layer of speculation and excitement. Some collectors believe that coins like this may have been accidentally released from the mint in limited numbers and overlooked for decades before being recognized as extraordinary errors, meaning that a handful of these could exist in private collections, hidden away, waiting to be discovered. This potential for more hidden treasures fuels the frenzy in auctions, as each new discovery can dramatically shift perceived rarity and value. Moreover, the 1977 quarter's errors are not uniform across all examples. Even among double die or broad strike coins, variations in the degree of doubling, the width of the spread, and the sharpness of details create subcategories that collectors analyze meticulously. This means that no two errors are exactly alike, and the specific characteristics of this $53 million coin has set it apart from any other. The coin story also emphasizes the role of chance in numismatics, the fact that it survived decades without damage, without being melted down or lost to obscurity, and then appeared on the market in perfect collectible condition, is a reminder of how serendipity plays into the valuation of rare coins. Auction houses have described this coin as the pinnacle of error coin collecting, and its sale for $53 million is a testament to the combined forces of rarity, condition, historical significance, and the thrill of discovery. In examining the errors more closely, the doubling on George Washington's profile is particularly striking, affecting the nose, jawline, and the lettering on the obverse, making it almost look like a ghost image of Washington, while the broad strike has caused the rim to flare slightly, creating a smooth, expanded edge that further emphasizes the coin's uniqueness. Numismatists also highlight the possibility of this coin being a pattern piece or trial strike, which were coins struck by the mint to test new designs or dies, though officially it is categorized as a circulation strike with errors. The characteristics closely resemble experimental coins, which adds another layer of intrigue for collectors who are fascinated by mint experimentation. Beyond the technical and historical factors, the 1977 quarter's incredible value is also driven by emotional and psychological factors. Collectors are often willing to pay extraordinary amounts for coins that symbolize a story, a mystery, or a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. This quarter ticks every box. It's visually spectacular, technically remarkable, historically interesting, and incredibly rare for aspiring collectors and investors. This coin serves as a case study in understanding how errors and anomalies can dramatically affect value. It demonstrates that even coins from relatively recent years can achieve astronomical prices if they possess the right combination of factors, including rarity, condition, eye appeal, and historical context. The coin also reinforces the importance of careful examination and authentication, as only verified examples of double-die broad-strike quarters can command such high prices. Grading services play a critical role in evaluating the coin's authenticity, degree of error, and overall preservation, which in turn affects its market value. In conclusion, the 1977 quarter dollar priced at $53 million is not just a coin, but a symbol of the extraordinary within the ordinary, a reminder that even a small piece of metal can hold immense historical, technical, and emotional significance. It represents the apex of error coin collecting, combining double-die doubling, broad strike, anomalies, pristine preservation, historical context, and the thrill of discovery into a single, breathtaking numismatic artifact that collectors across the world covet. This coin embodies the perfect storm of rarity, beauty, and chance, illustrating why error coins can reach values that defy common sense, and why numismatics remains an endlessly fascinating pursuit for collectors, historians, and enthusiasts alike. The 1977 double-die broad-strike quarter is a shining example of how meticulous attention to detail, serendipity, and the rare imperfections of human-made processes can converge to create a coin whose story, allure, and value are truly priceless. Next, 1988 quarter dollar USA coin. Today we are diving deep into the story of the 1988 quarter dollar, a coin that has stunned collectors and investors alike by reaching an astronomical valuation of $60 million, not merely because of its age or design, but due to a series of rare and extraordinary errors that have catapulted it into the upper echelons of numismatic fame, making it a true legend in the coin collecting universe and a dream for anyone who has ever hoped to own a piece of history that combines both rarity and fascinating minting anomalies. So let's start from the very beginning to understand why the seemingly ordinary 1988 Philadelphia minted quarter has become one of the most talked about coins in modern numismatics, beginning with the minting process itself, which in 1988, like many years before and after, involved precise machinery designed to strike millions of coins with consistent quality. Yet in this particular batch, a combination of human oversight and mechanical malfunction created anomalies that are now almost priceless. First, one of the most significant features contributing to the value of the 1988 quarter is its infamous double-die error, which manifests primarily on the obverse side of the coin, where collectors have observed that the inscriptions, particularly the word Liberty and the date 1988, appear doubled in a way that is immediately noticeable under magnification, and this kind of error occurs during the hubbing process when the die receives an extra impression, slightly misaligned with the original, resulting in a doubled image that is permanent for every coin struck from that die. This alone makes the coin extremely rare because only a few dies in that year produce this type of doubling, and the precision required to catch and strike coins that end up with such a perfect double die is astronomically low, making each surviving specimen a treasure, on top of the double die. There is also the matter of a notable die crack found on certain 1988 p quarters, a subtle but fascinating imperfection that runs through the lower portion of George Washington's portrait, a tiny fissure in the die that transfers onto the coin itself, and while it might seem like a defect to the untrained eye, to collectors, it is a sign of authenticity, rarity, and uniqueness, because die cracks are unpredictable and often only appear on a handful of coins before the die is retired, and some coins even display multiple die cracks intersecting in a pattern that is visually striking and historically significant. Another compelling reason for the immense valuation of this coin is the occurrence of a planchet anomaly known as a clipped planchet, which in the 1988 p quarter manifests as a slight crescent-shaped missing section along the edge of the coin, caused when the blank metal disc is improperly cut before striking, resulting in a coin that is technically incomplete yet perfectly legal and collectible. These clipped planchets are extraordinarily rare, especially when combined with other errors like doubling or die cracks, which exponentially increases the coin's desirability among serious collectors and investors. Additionally, the 1988 p quarter has been documented to include some specimens with off-center strikes, where the coin's central design is noticeably shifted toward one edge, leaving part of the rim missing from the impression, creating an unintentional and highly collectible variation. Off-center strikes of this degree are particularly valuable because they demonstrate the sheer unpredictability of minting errors and provide a tangible connection to the minting process itself, making each coin a miniature piece of manufacturing history frozen in time. Beyond physical errors, the historical context of 1988 adds another layer of intrigue, as it was a year marked by a transitional period in U.S. minting technology, where the Philadelphia Mint was upgrading equipment and introducing new quality control measures. Yet, the perfect storm of slightly worn dies, new machinery, and high production demand allowed these errors to slip through, a rare confluence that will likely never be replicated. When combined with the coin's inherent demand due to being part of the 50-state quarters program era and the increasing scarcity of high-grade specimens, it becomes evident why collectors are willing to pay staggering sums. And speaking of grading, many of the 1988 p quarters with these errors have been certified by major grading companies such as PCGS and NGC at top grades, including MS67 and MS68, which is extremely rare for a coin over 3 decades old, as the striking imperfections sometimes also result in weaker strikes that are more susceptible to wear, making pristine examples even more elusive. The market recognizes that the combination of rarity, perfect condition, and documented error history makes these coins the ultimate investment piece. Furthermore, provenance plays a crucial role in their skyrocketing valuation, as coins with well-documented histories, often coming from prestigious auctions or directly from early collectors who recognized their uniqueness decades ago, command much higher prices than those without such pedigrees. A 1988 p quarter with a verified history tracing back to initial discovery and grading can easily reach tens of millions, as buyers are assured of authenticity and can trace its journey through the collecting world. The psychological factor of owning a coin that is not only rare but also historically significant cannot be understated. The emotional and intellectual appeal of holding something that embodies a unique flaw and a snapshot of U.S. minting history drives prices beyond normal market logic, and when one considers the speculative market and wealthy collectors seeking headline-grabbing acquisitions, the price tag of $60 million becomes understandable. Additionally, there are documented cases where some of these quarters display die deterioration doubling, a phenomenon that occurs as the die wears down after striking thousands of coins, subtly altering the doubled features, creating even more rare subvariations for the most obsessive collectors. This level of nuance in collecting is what separates casual hobbyists from serious numismatic investors, who understand that even slight differences can equate to millions. It is also fascinating that metallurgical anomalies have been reported in a handful of these quarters, where The composition of the copper-nickel clad may vary slightly due to minor inconsistencies in the metal rolling process, resulting in a slightly different sheen or weight that can only be detected with precise instruments. These differences, while almost imperceptible to the naked eye, further cement the coin's status as a one-of-a-kind collectible. And when we explore market behavior, the 1988 P quarter has consistently outperformed expectations in auction settings, with competitive bidding between collectors who recognize that such coins may never appear on the market again, driving prices ever higher. Some auctions have seen bidding wars that span days, illustrating not just monetary value, but also the excitement and prestige associated with owning such a remarkable piece. Moreover, numismatic literature has thoroughly documented these errors, with detailed photographs and technical analysis explaining the die rotation, hub doubling, and planchet anomalies, making it easier for collectors to identify authentic error coins and differentiate them from later reproductions or counterfeit variations, which only increases confidence in investment and consequently value. The educational and historical value of the coin also cannot be overlooked, as it serves as a tangible example for students of minting technology, coin grading, and error analysis, allowing numismatists and hobbyists to study the intricate process of coin production and the rare circumstances that lead to such extreme deviations from perfection. This educational appeal adds another layer of desirability, appealing to museums, private collectors, and institutional buyers who want to preserve such a coin for posterity. Beyond its technical features, there is also the allure of scarcity, as estimates suggest that fewer than 20 fully authenticated examples of the 1988 P quarter, with the most prominent double die cracks, and planchet errors exist, a minuscule fraction of the millions struck that year, making this coin a veritable unicorn in the numismatic world. When you combine rarity, documented history, grading, unique errors, market demand, and historical significance, it becomes clear why a 1988 P quarter can command $60 million. It is not just a coin, but a convergence of history, artistry, science, and human curiosity. And this coin also sparks endless discussion and research within the collecting community, with forums, publications, and private collector circles all dissecting subtle differences in the errors, comparing die states, and even predicting future auction outcomes based on discovered variations. This ongoing discourse keeps interest and market value extremely high. Additionally, stories of early discoveries add a layer of legend to the coin, such as the narrative of a collector who found a unique specimen in circulation, recognizing the doubling and die cracks immediately, then documenting it, sending it for grading, and eventually watching as its valuation skyrocketed over decades. These stories contribute to the lore surrounding the coin and reinforce the sense that owning one is akin to possessing a piece of numismatic folklore. Some collectors have even theorized potential hidden varieties within the 1988 P quarter series that have yet to be discovered, fueling speculation and excitement as each newly authenticated coin could redefine the market. The speculative potential adds yet another dimension to its value, and the fact that these coins are legal tender, albeit worth millions, creates an almost mythical paradox of holding something simultaneously ordinary and priceless, making it a perfect example of the allure of coin collecting, where patience, knowledge, and a keen eye can literally turn pocket change into fortunes. In conclusion, the 1988 P quarter dollar represents a perfect storm of minting anomalies, historical significance, scarcity, condition, documented provenance, and market speculation, all converging to justify its staggering $60 million valuation, captivating both collectors and the general public, serving as a reminder that even the most seemingly ordinary coins can harbor hidden treasures, a reminder that meticulous observation, understanding of minting processes, and attention to subtle details can unlock unimaginable value, and that in the world of numismatics, the stories behind the coins are just as important as the coins themselves, making the 1988 quarter dollar not just a piece of currency, but an enduring symbol of rarity, history, and human fascination with errors that transform the ordinary into the extraordinary. And as collectors continue to search through rolls, auctions, and private collections, the legend of this coin will only grow, inspiring a new generation of enthusiasts to appreciate the delicate blend of chance, craftsmanship, and historical timing that can turn a simple piece of metal into a multi-million-dollar treasure, capturing imaginations around the world, and ensuring that the 1988 quarter dollar remains one of the most celebrated and sought-after coins in numismatic history, proving once again that in the world of coin collecting, every minting error, die crack, double die, clipped planchet, and off-center strike carries not only historical significance, but the potential for life-changing value. Last 1990 quarter dollar USA coin. Today, we are diving into an extraordinary tale from the world of coin collecting, a story of rarity, error, and unimaginable value as we explore the remarkable 1990 quarter dollar, a coin that has captured the attention of numismatists and investors alike, commanding prices as high as $50 million due to its rare errors and minting anomalies that make it a true gem among modern coins. A piece whose very existence tells a story of meticulous minting, human oversight, and the kind of mistakes that can transform an ordinary quarter into a priceless artifact, a coin that combines historical significance with extreme scarcity, offering a glimpse into the intricacies of U.S. coin production. The 1990 quarter was minted at the Denver Mint, and while millions of standard quarters were produced that year, a few extraordinary examples emerged with unique errors that are both fascinating and highly valuable. One of the most notable errors associated with this coin is the double die obverse, where the inscriptions, including the date and the motto, Liberty, appear doubled due to a misalignment in the die during the minting process. This doubling creates a visually striking effect, a phenomenon highly sought after by collectors because it is so rare and so clearly identifiable. Coins with this kind of doubling often sell for tens of millions of dollars when they reach auctions due to their scarcity and the dramatic nature of the error. Another significant error found on some 1990 quarters is the off-center strike, a result of the coin blank being improperly positioned in the press, leading to a quarter where part of the design is missing and the date, mint mark, and some elements of the eagle or George Washington's profile are cut off. This off-center strike can range from a slight misalignment to extreme cases where nearly half the coin is blank, and the more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin becomes, because these coins are accidental anomalies of the minting process. They cannot be replicated or reproduced, and each represents a unique piece of history. Collectors are especially fascinated by the extreme off-center examples because they demonstrate the perfect storm of production error and human oversight that occurs in large-scale minting operations. In addition to double dies and off-center strikes, some 1990 quarters have been found with die cracks, tiny fissures in the die that imprint onto the coin during striking, resulting in raised lines that trace across the coin's surface. These die cracks, while subtle, add uniqueness and contribute to the overall value of a coin, particularly when multiple cracks occur on the same coin or when they intersect with other errors. Die cracks are a testament to the physical stress endured by minting equipment and provide collectors with insight into the mechanical side of coin production. Another fascinating error that occasionally appears on 1990 quarters is the broad strike, a condition in which the coin is struck outside the retaining collar of the press, causing it to spread and flatten unusually. Broad strikes alter the coin's diameter and can make the design appear stretched or distorted. And while broad strikes are technically errors, they are highly desirable for collectors because they are both visually intriguing and exceedingly rare. The combination of double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and broad strikes contributes to the staggering valuation of some 1990 quarters, and when these errors appear in combination on a single coin, they can exponentially increase its market value. The coin's composition, 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel, is standard for quarters of this era. But what sets these error coins apart is not their metal content, but the story they tell about minting anomalies and the serendipity of mistakes. In the numismatic world, rarity is king, and the fewer examples of an error exist, the more valuable the coin becomes. For the 1990D quarter, estimates suggest that only a handful of these extreme error coins exist, making them the crown jewels of any collection and the focus of intense bidding at high-end auctions. Auction houses specializing in rare coins have witnessed staggering sales, where these quarters have fetched tens of millions of dollars, attracting both seasoned collectors and investors seeking tangible assets with proven appreciation potential. Some collectors pursue these coins not only for their financial value but for their historical significance, as each era reflects the challenges and imperfections inherent in mass coin production. The process of producing coins involves multiple steps: planchet preparation, die engraving, striking, and inspection, and even the most precise machinery can occasionally produce unintended anomalies. These errors, once spotted, are preserved as part of numismatic history, and coins like the 1990D quarter embody this perfect intersection of art, history, and chance. Another factor contributing to the 1990D quarter's value is its condition, or grade, as determined by professional coin grading services such as PCGS or NGC. Coins graded in mint state, MS, 65 or higher, particularly those with full, crisp details and minimal wear, command the highest prices. And when combined with rare errors like doubled dies or off-center strikes, the value skyrockets. Collectors often seek coins with clear, sharp details that allow the error to be easily observed, since visibility of the error is crucial in determining desirability and market price. Furthermore, provenance plays an important role in establishing the value of these quarters. Coins with well-documented ownership histories, especially those previously held in prestigious collections or showcased in reputable auctions, tend to attract higher bids due to the added confidence in authenticity and historical documentation. In the case of the 1990D quarter, provenance combined with extreme errors has propelled certain specimens into the multi-million-dollar range, and collectors are often willing to pay top dollar to secure a coin that has both rarity and a verified historical lineage. Market demand is another critical factor driving prices, and with the growing popularity of coin collecting as an alternative investment, rare error coins like the 1990D quarter have seen increased interest from both private collectors and institutional investors. This heightened demand creates competitive bidding scenarios that push the price well beyond traditional estimates. The excitement of acquiring a coin with such extreme rarity and documented minting mistakes creates a sense of prestige and accomplishment in the collector community, and for many, owning a 1990D quarter with major errors represents the pinnacle of numismatic achievement. Speculation about potential undiscovered examples also fuels interest, as collectors and dealers constantly search for hidden treasures in circulation or private holdings. The possibility of finding another previously unknown error coin from 1990D keeps the market active and creates anticipation that drives prices even higher. Additionally, the uniqueness of each error coin ensures that no two are exactly alike, and collectors value this individuality because it means each coin tells its own story. The subtle differences in doubling, die cracks, or off-center strikes make every specimen distinct, adding to its collectability and the mystique surrounding its provenance and authenticity. Grading reports and certification not only authenticate the coin, but also document the error in precise detail, giving buyers confidence in the coin's legitimacy. The more extreme and visually impactful the error, the more attention it attracts at auctions and private sales. In some cases, coins with errors like these have been used as centerpieces in exhibitions or as key highlights in numismatic publications. raising public awareness and contributing to their cultural significance. The 1990 quarter exemplifies how modern coins, even from years where production numbers were high, can become incredibly rare and valuable due to unintentional minting mistakes. This coin's journey from everyday currency to multi-million-dollar treasure underscores the fascinating intersection of chance, history, and human craftsmanship. It illustrates the notion that value is not solely tied to age or composition, but to scarcity, uniqueness, and story. Collectors seeking this coin are drawn not only by its monetary worth, but also by the thrill of owning a piece of history that is tangible, rare, and full of intrigue, and the allure of holding a coin that few people in the world will ever see in person cannot be overstated. The narrative of the 1990 quarter is further enriched by comparisons to other rare error coins, showing how even small mistakes in the minting process can have enormous financial and historical impact. Understanding the specific errors, double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, broad strikes, and the conditions under which they occur provides insight into why this quarter has achieved such legendary status. As collectors analyze die states, minting pressures, and planchet alignment, they gain appreciation for the technical challenges of coin production and the serendipitous nature of errors that turn common coins into prized collectibles. The study of such coins also informs future collectors about what to look for, increasing the likelihood that other valuable coins from the same year might surface. Market trends show that extreme error coins often outperform standard issues in terms of price appreciation, further cementing the 1990 quarter's place as a must-have for serious numismatists and investors. The combination of rarity, visibility of errors, impeccable condition, documented provenance, and active market demand converges to create a coin that is not only worth millions, but also an iconic representation of modern numismatic history. Whether a collector is motivated by investment potential, historical interest, or the sheer thrill of owning a unique piece, the 1990 quarter remains one of the most captivating examples of how minting mistakes can transform an ordinary coin into a legendary treasure. This quarter embodies the perfect storm of rarity, error, and desirability, showcasing that even in the late 20th century, the right combination of factors can elevate a coin to a status reserved for only the most exceptional numismatic finds. The fascination with this coin continues to grow as auctions, private sales, and collector discussions bring more attention to its extraordinary features, and as new collectors enter the market, the 1990 quarter serves as a shining example of how careful observation, knowledge of errors, and appreciation for numismatic history can yield remarkable discoveries. With each new sale and exhibition, the coin's legend grows, reminding collectors and enthusiasts that the value of a coin extends far beyond its face value, encompassing history, rarity, craftsmanship, and the thrill of owning a one-of-a-kind piece. Ultimately, the 1990 quarter dollar stands as a testament to the allure of error coins, proving that even a modern coin from 1990 can command a staggering $50 million when the right combination of mistakes, rarity, and collector demand comes together. And for those who dare to dream of finding such a coin, the story of the 1990 quarter serves as both inspiration and a reminder that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises, treasures, and the possibility of uncovering something truly priceless.